And in Los Angeles, Arizona, a different woman's walk in nature is also interrupted by an irate neighbor who says she is trespassing.
It's not your property.
What does the trail say? Where does the trail say?
Are you being aggressive with me?
No, I'm calling the police.
Go ahead. Because it actually belongs to Los Angeles.
No, it doesn't.
The property
You walked
lines.
off the trail. That's why
The woman claims that a public path goes in front of this neighbor's house, but the neighbor insists that the trail is a few feet away, and he's calling the police.
Yeah, I've got a woman trespassing on our property. Could you send police over right away? We feel that we're threatened. We've got her on video as well. Please, it's an emergency.
It is not an emergency. I'm on the trail.
Believing she is on a public right-of-way, the hiker pushes back.
Do you see those property spikes? I was not on your
The woman
property.
is very aggressive.
I am not aggressive.
Do you know this person?
No, I don't.
she's
And I'm not
trespassing
being
on our
aggressive.
property.
And I'm not trespassing.
And we have her on video. I can't tell if she has weapons or not.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
The hiker's tone becomes exasperated, but the neighbor stands his ground.
We've got the woman trespassing on the property.
No,
Please
it's
send
not
police over immediately. We
trespassing.
want her arrested.
Have officers en route.
Thank you.
I need you to answer my question. How old is
You know, I'm a
She appears to be
veteran.
about 35 to 40 years old.
I'm 57, and I'm a veteran,
57.
and I was not trespassing on his property.
We're very threatened. Thank you.
You're not
Thank you.
threatened.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
At this point, the hiker stops recording and leaves. According to media reports, after the police see the footage, the neighbor is cited for disorderly conduct and false reporting to law enforcement.
Could you send police over right away? We feel that we're threatened. Let's hang it out.
The neighbor makes a public apology. He says that prior to this heated standoff, the city of Mesa had rerouted the hiking trail a few feet away from his house because the mountain is too steep to hike safely. But it's clear that throwing shade on a sunny mountain trail is a slippery slope for neighbor relations.
We've got the woman trespassing on the property.
No.
Some neighbors spend their lives being suspicious.
What are you doing in here with your license plates covered?
Just cleaning my car.
Oh, okay. So, what's all the stuff you got in your car? No, I'm not gonna let you out.
In New York City, a person captures the moment when his friend in the blue shorts finds and confronts the neighbor he alleges stole his work bicycle.
My bike. And I advise you to step away. I see you sold this before for $90.
No, I did. Now you lying. Now you lying on me.
No, you touch my again. You're dead.
The neighbor's answers and attitude towards the situation only agitates the friend more.
That's my work bike. That's how I make my money.
Thankfully, the confrontation doesn't escalate beyond a few angry words,
Bitch.
and the friend leaves, taking both bikes with him. Shocking moments are never in short supply in the neighborhood.
Big man, bro, big man. Big man, don't touch him. Condom.
Especially for Melissa Garay from Gresham, Oregon, who hears a noise outside her home one night and checks her security feed. And her jaw drops when her car parked across the street suddenly drives away. The police managed to recover her vehicle and establish a suspect. She's then surprised to learn that the suspect is, in fact, one of her neighbors. But her greatest shock comes a week later, when that same neighbor confronts her with an odd request.
I'd like all my stuff back.
The neighbor claims he purchased the stolen car and left his belongings in it when the police took it.
Well, we would have liked the car not to get stolen too, but you didn't give a.
I don't steal
So
cars. I have a car.
then how the were you in that car, bro? You're ballsy, dude.
Y'all that.
He wants it out of.
What? That's all done. What do you think was in there?
Why?
What? Because the cops took everything, dude. Why don't you ask the cops where your is? Why would you steal someone's car and then think you had the right to back?
So you guys don't have my then?
We have none of your. We have our that you took. That's what we have.
I didn't take nothing.
Okay. You're wild.
The neighbor drives off without his belongings. Melissa files a police report, and the neighbor is charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. The neighbor pleads not guilty to the charge, and Melissa is sure to keep her vehicle locked in her garage to avoid any unexpected future joyrides in the neighborhood.
You're ballsy, dude.
Tonight in Tucson, this couple is in their garage conducting a routine oil change on their van when an unexpected neighbor makes her way out of the darkness.
Why do you keep doing this? You're polluting the air. We can breathe it all in.
After apparently smelling their oil change, the neighbor storms out of her home and scolds the couple for working on their car.
We can breathe it all in. Man, get you to a real mechanic. Because you're
A few minutes later, the neighbor steps back out of her house, and the man working on his van starts recording their interaction on his cell phone.
You know what? You have no respect. The fumes that are coming off these vehicles are contaminating our dog. I've had enough of you. I know how manipulative you are. You need to have a conscience, because I'm going to report you to your landlord. And take that to the YouTube and make some sense of yourself.
The man recording heeds his neighbor's advice, posting the video on social media. He later files a harassment claim against her, which is eventually resolved, and they haven't gotten in any arguments since. Which means the couple can continue to work on their cars in peace, so long as they're not waking the neighbors with any more smells.
You need to have a conscience, because I'm going to report you to your landlord.
Camano Island, Washington is a picturesque vacation area within the Puget Sound, and nestled there is the childhood home of fashion designer Jersey Virago and her siblings.
My mom's house is located in a pretty quiet neighborhood, and like everybody's pretty nice to each other, says hi. I still feel very attached to the house. I have a lot of memories in it. It took care of my mother.
After their mother passes away, Jersey's younger brother Michael takes the lead in watching over the property. But when he moves out, the local neighbors begin complaining about the comings and goings from the house. After learning of this, Jersey and her other siblings, who are all co-owners of the property, go to the home to investigate and learn several people they don't know claim to have an agreement with Michael to live in the house.
We all made a plan to go there and kind of see what's going on with the house.
Why are you here?
Jersey and her other siblings start asking questions of the people who claim they have a right to live there.
You had an agreement with him?
Okay, that doesn't matter. It's voided. Like, you guys didn't pay. Nobody paid anything.
That wasn't the
It doesn't matter. Michael doesn't own this house. I just need you guys to go.
When Jersey demands that one of the people needs to leave, he pleads his case for staying to the police.
His sister is currently standing in my door.
It's not your door. It's not your door. You don't live here.
They weren't paying rent. They weren't on a lease. I don't know if he paid my brother rent.
She's not even a landlord. She's the sister, and she's just thinking she can enter my room.
A landlord? This is all of our house. They all own the house. We all own the house.
An officer ended up coming there and saying that we have to go to the courts and there's nothing that we can do.
Frustrated that they can't take action on this visit, Jersey and her siblings spend the next year pushing the issue through the court system, where a judge ultimately rules in their favor, giving them the authority to kick the unwanted tenants out of the house.
We didn't know exactly the process of like how this was gonna go. Like, I just knew it was up to the sheriff to tell them that they had a certain amount of hours to get out of there.
No, if you on the property, after 2 p.m., you're subject to being arrested.
The sheriff's department monitors the eviction day as the tenants scramble to remove their belongings from the property, while Jersey waits to gain entry.
2 p.m. Okay.
Well, they can finally go in.
With the green light, the siblings are finally able to take back control of the property, and they're shocked by what they see.
Holy this is craziness. Seeing my mom's house in that state, it was just super sad. That was our house growing up.
But you got my mom's house back.
With the unwanted tenants gone, Jersey and her older brother turn their attention to restoring the house back to the way it was, so it can be sold.
That house gave me and my family like a lot of happy memories, and so I would hope that someone can live there that can honor it.
Despite the dark and dingy experience, Jersey is optimistic about the future.
It was just a lot for me, and I know other people have gone through this and are going through it, and I mean, they'll prevail too.
So gross. But we got my mom's house back.
The town of Weiser in western Idaho is a small community, just the way resident Ariel Graham likes it.
This area is comprised mostly of farmers.
Ariel and her family enjoy the rural atmosphere.
We live on just a little bit over 1 acre, and it is country living through and through.
And with country living comes country neighbors.
Good morning.
just like the guy living next door to Ariel.
My first impression of my neighbors was that they were nice. We saw each other every day.
But Ariel's cordial relationship with her neighbor quickly sours, all starting with a piece of paper.
We received our survey in the mail, and we noticed that this easement was on our land. An easement is a piece of land that 2 or more parties use to access another piece of land.
But when Ariel emails her neighbors regarding this easement development, she claims the neighbors suddenly go silent.
Their initial response was nothing. They completely ignored me.
And then Ariel believes the neighbor begins taking pictures of her property. She claims to see him at night, where it looks like he's taking flash pictures of her land. Ariel has seen enough.
I was ready to protect my family, and I decided to confront him.
Ariel gets her chance a few days later when she claims to see her neighbor recording again near her property.
Why are you filming us walking out of our front door? You don't need to document us on our property.
Ariel makes mention of his alleged previous visit.
You were recording my house at night.
No, I wasn't.
We caught you on camera. We were
good.
upstairs.
Well, that's just great because I'm just filming all the stuff that you guys are doing.
What are we doing? Oh, living on our property?
Documenting you blocking my easement.
You don't need to film us on our land.
I can do whatever I want.
That trailer,
I can do
that's
whatever.
on our land.
That's on my easement.
It doesn't take long for the conversation to turn into a property dispute.
This is an easement.
This is our driveway.
This is
and
an
the
easement.
shipping container is our driveway.
The driveway comes to the line
No,
of
it
this
doesn't.
house. Yes,
No,
it does.
this is
you
my
want me
driveway.
to show you?
No.
I have it on the
You're
document.
a stalker. Okay.
You're a
That's
freak.
fine. No, the
You're a freak.
sheriff is
Why
not
would you
making us
stop
move
me?
it.
The sheriff made a mistake.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
they don't make
did.
mistakes.
But the topic of easement soon turns into a conversation on alleged harassment.
Stop filming us.
No.
You're scary.
No, too bad.
Okay,
So sad.
this is for the judge when we
Okay,
file
good.
a restraining order on you
Oh,
for
good.
stalking us.
I'm not doing anything.
The neighbor claims to be documenting his land, but this leaves Ariel feeling upset.
You literally are in front of our home.
Yeah.
Our only safe space.
Yeah.
Every single day.
I'm be doing it
How would
every
you-
single day.
I was shaking.
You need to stop.
No.
Why?
I'm not going to stop
Why?
being myself.
You have
I've never encountered something like this before.
You
footage.
started this,
No,
lady.
you have
Lady,
got
you
enough
started
footage.
this.
No,
Oh.
your lawyer can respond to ours.
Oh.
I am done asking you to leave
I
our
don't
family
care.
alone.
I don't care what
Leave
you
us
want.
alone. Okay, you won't leave us alone.
I'm not going to do anything
You're
different
not
than
gonna.
I'm
Okay,
doing.
you're not gonna
I'm
stop filming us.
documenting
No,
you people.
But the neighbor claims he has a right to record.
you are
That's all.
stalking us
I'm-
every day.
You're getting angry.
Yes,
Why?
because you're stalking my
I'm not
family.
stalking
Yes,
you.
you are.
At this point, I had had enough.
You think it's funny?
I think
you're
it's
you're a
hilarious.
sick person.
You're psycho.
Ariel decides to leave, and the argument ends. But Ariel goes to the police and gets a court order against her neighbor.
Thankfully, the protection order keeps him from being within 500 feet of our home.
But Ariel is uncertain about the future.
We are hopeful that eventually they will not be allowed to come through anymore and that we can move on with our lives.
Stop filming us.
No.
You're scary.
No, too bad.
After years away, 38-year-old social worker Brittany Fuller and her partner Steven moved back to a leafy suburb in San Diego, California to live with her elderly mother.
It's absolutely amazing to be in my childhood home. I believe the house was built in 1985 and I was born in 86. So we are the original homeowners.
And Brittany and her partner adore the neighborhood.
There's definitely a lot more houses now than there were initially since I grew up here, but it's still gorgeous. Some of the neighbors are actually still the same after 30 years. It's a great community and I really like it here.
Next door to Brittany and her mom lives a woman in her 60s and her husband.
Having known her for 30 years, I never in a million years would have expected her to start acting and doing the things that she has been doing.
One day, Brittany notices some work taking place in her neighbor's yard, so she starts recording, and she's concerned about how close the structure is to her boundary.
All right, it looks like we found the property line.
So yeah, this is ours, up to that sprinkler, it looks like.
We knew that they were constructing something in the backyard, but we weren't exactly sure what was going on.
Brittany claims she tells her neighbor she is contacting the city to check that they have the correct building permits. According to Brittany, the neighbor reacts badly and becomes unfriendly and makes strange gestures at Brittany's security cameras. A few weeks later, when Brittany comes home from a trip, she is astonished by what she finds.
I couldn't believe there was this huge structure being built 3 feet from my fence. It looks like a 2-story apartment building.
Brittany believes the neighbors are taking advantage of a new law in California that allows additional dwellings in backyards. Brittany discovers the building is to code, but she is afraid that any potential occupant might be able to see into her backyard. So she puts up a privacy screen.
I don't feel like my house is a place where I can, walk in my backyard now without feeling like someone's looking at me.
Brittany complains to the neighbor, and their relationship deteriorates further. A couple of weeks later, Brittany is in her backyard. Without warning, the neighbor appears through a hole in the fence, so Brittany starts recording.
Yeah, tape it.
I'm just videoing her, babe. I'm not saying anything back.
Out of nowhere, the neighbor starts talking about Brittany's mom, who was visiting family out of town.
Remember when she goes away? You know why? Because she's afraid of you. You told me that your mother is mentally sick. You hate your mom.
I was surprised that she just was saying all these totally bizarre things, some of them extremely hurtful. I was upset. I was really sad.
Next, the neighbor turns her attention to Brittany and her complaints about the new building.
You tell people that you love everybody. No, you do not. Just because you don't have the view of my backyard, you hate it. Why don't you make your own? For once, start working.
At this point, I'm really frustrated. It made me angry. When does it end?
You put in here love wings, you should put hatred wings because that's what you're doing.
It was scary to be in my own backyard. It feels so like I can't make this woman stop.
After this day, Brittany is granted a temporary order of protection against the neighbor by the courts. But Brittany claims the relationship with the neighbor continues to be poor. When the neighbors go back to court, the judge lifts the restraining order. So Brittany realizes she has to make peace with the neighbor and the new building. She is adamant that she and her mother want to stay in the neighborhood.
This is my home. This is where I grew up. This is my safe place. And I'm not gonna let anyone take that away from me.
You tell people that you love everybody. No, you do not.
Big family gatherings in the neighborhood can often be delightful for the family itself. But not so enjoyable for neighbors. Like this neighbor in Midvale, Utah, who claims a family of 6 is being disruptive at her apartment's pool.
You are rude. You are all rude. You just come in here like you own it. It's rude.
And when things start to heat up, a member of the family starts recording.
If we're disturbing people, we apologize.
No, you were disturbing us. You didn't even ask us. You didn't even ask that guy.
Is it okay if we swim here?
The woman says she's never seen the family in her complex before, but the man insists the family has a right to be at the pool, as they're visiting his brother who lives at the apartment complex.
So what, are you gonna turn us away? You're gonna be rude and turn us away? That's gonna be rude. Say, no, we'd like to have the pool all to ourselves. Us too. So do we. Who cares? It's semantics.
You don't pay. You don't live here.
This
is my family.
This is family.
Oh, okay, well, then you understand, but it's 2 people.
The conversation reaches its boiling point when other members of the family get involved.
You guys know damn well it says 2 people per apartment.
It doesn't matter. You've already told us. Walk away now.
You bring 20.
Can I just tell you that if you don't want to live in a family community, then go live somewhere where there are no.
So you think it's okay to bring 20 people when you
If you pay for an HOA, $300 a month, yeah.
The woman doesn't let up as she continues to tell the family about the pool regulations.
The rules are 2 people per apartment.
Maybe it's not for somebody.
Oh, I will find out tomorrow and it will
Go
be.
ahead.
Go get your
Walk away. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say 20. You were over there yelling to get in. Let them all in.
Well, they're my family.
Oh, okay. I have 50 people in my family. I'll bring them all in. I wouldn't do that. It's rude.
But I wouldn't care. There's people.
You're weird.
There are people that would care. You are one of the few people that would actually care. Let me go.
I think there's so many complaints.
There are no siblings. We don't care. Does she own it? She lives in an apartment.
Clearly exasperated, and having made her point, the woman leaves the pool area. With the neighbor gone, the family enjoys swimming the rest of the day and says they haven't run into her since. And while this family makes a bigger splash than they expected, they hope for calmer waters during future pool visits.
Okay, then take over the whole pool. You are entitled.
No, we're not entitled.